let's go over what kind of guitar to get, because you've got to get the right instrument that fits you properly. Remember, whether you want to learn acoustic or electric, it's easier to learn on the electric guitar. And the reason is because the strings are thinner, the action is a little lower, the action meaning the distance between the bottom of the strings and the top of the fretboard or the frets. And, you know, it's thinner, so it's easier to get your arm around as opposed to, you know, a thick acoustic guitar. So the electric guitar is a little easier to start on. And you don't even need an amp at first. You know, you could just kind of play it acoustically, right? So if you have a choice and it doesn't matter, I would choose for first starting the electric because it's going to be easier. And it's going to make your journey a little bit easier. It's not impossible on the acoustic, it's just a little tougher. Maybe you don't have, you know, any inkling to play the electric guitar, right? So we'll put it down. And let's say you just, you know, you always want to play acoustic. No problem. The thing is, you got to get the right acoustic that fits you properly. Remember, with guitars, there's different body styles, there's different shapes, sizes, different thicknesses, different widths of the neck, feel of the necks, and all these things to contribute to its playability. This guitar is big, you know, this is almost jumbo size. It's a little smaller than a jumbo. Very big body. I'm a big guy, so it's easy for me to get my arm over it. If you're a smaller, petite person, you don't want to get a jumbo, and you probably don't even want to get a dreadnought because it has a very wide waist. So you want to get, they make guitars with smaller body sizes. They also make guitars that are thinner, and they're easier to get your arm around. They also make acoustic guitars with smaller neck or even a shorter scale, meaning the frets are closer together. So if you have small hands, a lot of people say, I have small hands, I can't play guitar. That's not true. I've taught 8-year-old kids to play, you know, with tiny hands. It's not about the size of your hands, it's about having the right instrument that fits you properly. So what you want to do is you want to go to a guitar store that has a lot of guitars and try them on. You know, like you're getting fit for a suit or something. You know, see how they feel against your body. See if you can get your arm around it. See the difference in the neck sizes. You know, some guitars, even the strings are a little closer together, you know, and it makes it easier if you have smaller hands. And a good reputable guitar store with good salespeople, they will help you, they will suit you up. Even if you can't play one, you could still get there and feel them and see how they fit. And this one's too thick, I can't get my arm, or this one feels too heavy. You want to get something comfortable. Remember, we got to get you over. A big part of beginning guitar is getting over the physics of the instrument and getting the muscle memory in your hand and in your wrist, right? And we're going to make it easy. So get a guitar that fits you properly. Brands and prices. You're just starting out, you don't want to invest a lot of money because you're not exactly sure what tones sound best to you or what feel is absolutely best. So I suggest if you're getting an acoustic, at least get a solid top acoustic. And that's all you have to tell the people at the store. I want one with a solid top. That's one solid piece of wood on the top of the guitar. It's not a series of boards glued together. Reason being, solid top guitars sound so much better. The tone is far superior than a laminate top guitar. So at least get a solid top. And you could get a solid top guitar. There's many manufacturers that make them for about $300 brand new. A good one would be like a Seagull. They're made in Canada. They make a great solid top acoustic for $300. Fender makes one. I think it's about $275. Ibanez. Yamaha makes a really good $300 solid top guitar. Great guitar for beginners. And the guitar, like I said, try them on, see how they feel, see how your hand fits on the neck, get, you know, the right size to fit your body. So $300 is a fine investment if you want new. Now, I've seen guitars used with solid tops like I just mentioned on Craigslist or eBay. You could get one for $200, $225, maybe even with a case. So you don't need a lot of money at first. Don't go out and buy a $1,500 Taylor or a $2,000 Martin right out of the gate, because you don't know, you haven't played enough guitars yet to know what you really want. Down the road, you can upgrade. Small investment at first. And if you want an electric guitar, a good quality guitar would be like, this is a Fender Mexican, made in Mexico, or Mexican made Stratocaster. These brand new go for about $425. But again, you could get them used on Craigslist or eBay. I just had one of my students picked one up used, a black one, like perfect condition, $225 with a case. You can't go wrong. There's other companies out there that make decent, used, decent new electric guitars at the starter level. But again, you want to spend $200-300, not $100 or something. It's just not going to stay in tune. You got to spend a little bit at first, but even if it's an electric guitar, you know, use $250, you get set up nice. New $300-400, you'll be in good shape. Whatever guitar you get, just make sure when you're at the store that for a beginner, and ask them, say, hey, I'm just starting out. I want to make sure this is playable. Have them play it. Make sure there's no buzzing. You know, make sure the action isn't too high. You know, make sure the strings aren't off the fretboard 1.5 inches or something. And that's just going to make it harder for you to play. You want to make it as easy as possible. And you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Once you play a couple guitars, once you get into it, you'll start to see, wow, this one plays a lot nicer than this one, or this one doesn't feel as good. It's a feel thing. And obviously, you know, all the differences that I mentioned as far as, especially with acoustics, body size and how thick it is, it's all going to make a difference on how the guitar sounds, the guitar's tone. But right now, you know, you just want to dive in and get going. And later on, you could bump up to the guitar once you start, you know, knowing what you like and what sounds you like. Then you could start bumping up to the guitar that, you know, has a tone that you're looking for too. The main thing is let's get started. So now you know which guitar, you know, you're going to get, right? As far as picks, you want to get, you know, a bunch of picks. I'll show you some close-ups. Get some with either the kind with the holes in them, or the kind with the raised letters, or like the Snarling Dogs with the real jaggedy feel to them, because a big problem that a lot of beginners have is the pick moves around in their hand, especially with the cellulite or clear picks. So you want to get the pick that has a little bit to catch your fingers on, like the one with the holes in them, or the one with the grips on it. Very, very important. It'll make your journey easy. Remember, I'm giving you tips here that is going to really take a lot of the frustration out and make things easy as possible for you as a beginner. All right, so you have your picks now, you have your guitar, you're ready to go. I'll just show you real quick. There's 2 of the most common ways to hold the guitar pick, and I'll show you close-ups of these. The first way is a very traditional way of holding the pick, and this is where your thumb is over the top, and it's almost like you're doing it to the side, and that is the most common way of holding the pick, using just the thumb and your pointer finger, your first finger. And most guitar players probably use the pick that way, and that's fine. Try that, see how it feels. That's the most common way of holding the pick. The second most common is the way that I hold it. It just feels better to me, and I'll show you that way. What you want to do is take your first finger and lay the pick right on top, and then come right over it with your thumb. So again, you're using your thumb and your first finger, and then you hold the pick that way. It's not as much on the side like in the first way. So I suggest you try both, see just what feels best to you. And then down the road, you know, you could start experimenting it, holding it different ways, seeing what's a little bit more comfortable with. Get one of those 2 ways in there. Don't hold the pick too far back, you know, then it's too floppy. Don't, you know, hold it too far close and have this little piece just to pick with, you know. You want to go right in the middle, and you don't want to be pressing down too hard, just enough to keep it in your hand to keep it from slipping. So tune into the next lessons where we're going to be learning basically 3 goals we're going to have. Here's our plan. Goal number 1, learn and practice some chords, get them sounding good. Goal 2, strumming and rhythm, learning a couple of strum rhythmic patterns so we can play with a rhythmic feel. And 3, changing chords, getting you to do that properly using the proper chord changing techniques. Also, be sure to click on the page somewhere. We'll put a link to the ebook that'll kind of go along with these lessons, that'll show the chords diagrammed out, and you could read about the lessons that are coinciding with these video lessons, and I'll write out proper chord changing techniques. That's all in there. There's diagrams and stuff. Be sure to get that. It's just follow the links on the screen, and that'll go along. It's a nice complement to these lessons. It's nice to see it on paper, to watch it on video, you know, this 3-pronged approach to learning guitar. So get into the next lesson. Best of luck. Stay positive. Put that guitar in your hands every day, even if it's just for 15 minutes, and you'll be playing songs quickly. You can do it. See you in your next lesson.